Ruslan.
You built momentum, you built leverage, but you didn't do it in a way compromising your faith. You didn't do it in a way compromising your identity. I wrote this song for my wife. You know, your Instagram, your branding is around being a husband, being a father, being transparent about where you are. Your music isn't overtly Jesus music, but you're very transparent about you being a follower of Jesus. And so now, because you have the momentum, you don't have to compromise on the content or anything, and the stakes are higher, and some folks start reaching out.
A lot of labels reached out. Labels like Capitol, Republic, 300 Entertainment, Arista Records, which is under Sony. This is some I can think off the top of my head. A lot of labels reaching out, and I also didn't respond to them right away because I know what I'm good at, and I'm not good at negotiating because I know what I want, and I clearly know what I want, but I'm not good at negotiating because in a way, like I think I'm just being honest, I think I'm just too nice to negotiate. So I didn't respond to many of them, but I did hire a consultant / negotiator at that point, so this would take over all the contact. But anyway,
so hold on. So these labels are reaching out, and you're not even responding to any of them. You're just kind of like, meh.
Yeah, I mean, really in my heart, it's always been independent. But I always said I'm open to conversations, and if a deal makes sense, like really makes sense, then I will consider it and possibly do it.
Something came across your table. Pretty big company.
Yeah. There was a deal that came across from a company that I really Republic Records, from a company that I really I like Republic Records. And I think the song is a good home for Republic Records. You know, advances look nice. So they came back with a better offer for just Pineapple, no option. And I ended up taking that one. Yeah.
You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. Nick D inks deal with Universal Republic for the single Pineapple. We can't divulge all the details, but fair to say, multi-six-figure type situation. We talking cloth talk. We talking serious moves, and you did it. You did it on your own terms. You were patient about it. Had you taken that deal with Caroline back in January or February, I mean, you wouldn't have been able to be in the position that you are now. And so you are, as a follower of Jesus, as a husband, as a father, are in a position where you are partnered with Universal Republic. For you guys that don't know, Universal Republic is the label behind the Post Malones, the Drakes, the Nicki Minaj's. I can't think of all the other people, but it is basically a lot of our pop music comes out through Universal Republic, and Nick D has officially partnered with them for one song, not two, not an album, not his entire catalog. You still own the entire back catalog. You could still move and come and go as you please. There's no compromising your art. There's no watering it down. You are ultimately at the head of this situation, man. And I think what's dope about this is how inspiring this should be to the Christian community. And you are a Rapzilla freshman. Many folks probably know you from that. But you didn't sit here and obsess with the Christian rap audience. You didn't like aspire to be the biggest Christian rapper. You just went and you were a blue ocean guy. You went and built your own thing in a different ecosystem and are now partnered with the biggest label in the world.
It's really cool. There were certain things that I wanted from a label if I was to partner. And one of those things was a radio push. And they're one of the best radio teams in the business. So I was really looking forward to that. And then I feel good. I feel good about the partnership. There's great people over there. I have a great team working on the song. You know, they very communicative. Seem like they genuinely care. You know, and that's something that I value. You know, I want a team that does actually care about me and that actually enjoys the song, you know, and I truly feel like they do, you know. So I think when people actually like the music and they like you as a person, they'll put they'll put their best foot forward and try to make things happen, you know?
Yeah, man. And it's exciting because it again lifts the ceiling. It lifts some of the victim mentality that Christians walk around with, assuming that they could only go so far. They're looking at this person over here, they're looking at that person over here, looking at this blog over here and thinking, well, I guess this is the ceiling for me. You know what I mean? I guess this is it. I'm not going anywhere from here. And I think what this demonstrates is that when you do things God's way, in terms of living your life God's way, right? Honoring your wife, honoring your son, honoring all these different things that you have going on, and you build out your business God's way. You're not thirsty. You're not out here trying to get on. You're not out here hungry for Andy Mineo or Lecrae feature. You just did what you did, bro. And it just slowly compounded. You put out a ton of music, and you leverage the technology that it positions Christians in culture to go way beyond the four walls of the church, to go way beyond just preaching to the choir and reaching other Christians. And I know that's your heart in terms of the type of art you make. Can you just share some of your vision in terms of the type of music you've been making up until this point? I mean, you have, I think, over 100 songs on Spotify. They're all fire. I listen to them when we work out regularly. Just share your heart for the music and the vision.
I mean, I love what I say in my songs. I put a lot of emphasis on my message in my music. And every song is different. And sometimes I just have fun when I make music too. But like for Pineapple specifically, I wrote a song about glorifying my wife, and I love it because a song about glorifying your wife is #2 viral in the United States. It's not supposed to be there. Like, if you think about it, like the music that goes viral, this song is not supposed to be there. And it makes it that much more rewarding. And I think it even shows over and over again that people are craving something real. And then now, you know, people are listening to that, and now that is in their rotation. So a song about someone loving their wife is in the rotation instead of a song about at the strip club or how many side chicks they got, or, you know, whatever. So I love that. And I love to just have those little plugs into people's playlists. When I make music, I want it to sound like something people would like, but I want the content to be good, you know, just good and wholesome. And I want it to open doors for conversation. Like, why do you write songs about your wife? Why do you speak the way you do? Why do you carry yourself the way you do? So then at that point I can respond with Jesus. You know, I don't necessarily shove it down people's throat, but I think they're more open to the conversation when they come to you about it.
Yeah, that's good, man. Different folks make music or make art for the church, and I would say what you do is make music from the church. It's from a Christian perspective. It's going to celebrate the things that we value as Christians. It's going to be known by the things we're for.
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
We need an overhaul. Joshua the king came down and bore it all. Conversations front of the fireplace. I know a few things, never claim to know it all. Conversations front of the fireplace. Joshua the king came down and bore it all. Conversations front of the fireplace. I know a few things, never claim to know it all. Conversations front of the fireplace. All that